Hello, welcome to this week's paint along. We are getting very close to the end of this guy. And speaking of that, so when I do get close to the end, I take a look at it and get a little, I use post-it notes and I kind of write down things that I see that are left with paint. I already have that made up. So I'm sure you've already noticed now that I've left it on here. I forgot to paint a piece of leather on this, and so I have it written down. And obviously claws, rope, and base are about what's it. So I just thought I would take the time to just mention that it is a good time when you're getting towards the end of the mini, especially if you can maybe sometimes tend to rush things at the end, or even the opposite if you tend to like really slow down. I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I will slow down and it just will take me forever to get the oomph to really finish. And there can be the similar problem of when that happens, then you can maybe accidentally forget some smaller details that you have yet to paint. If it's not something super obvious, like the claws would be something that I could easily forget about, and I have been forgetting about them. I think I mentioned way back when I was painting the left arm that I noticed I had forgotten to paint the claws on that arm. I think I was painting something else on this arm and realized that when I did the fur, I hadn't done the nails or claws. And I am using a lot of the same colors that I did in the fur, so I definitely could have done that, gotten these done when I did the fur. So you want to just I didn't go over as much as I didn't like go pour over the mini on camera as much as what I did earlier today when I was making that list, but really give it a good look over. Just make sure you're not missing anything. Make sure there aren't any areas, like even if you're just doing tabletop, like just look over it, make sure there's some, turn it upside down. Are there areas maybe down here that you can, someone would be able to technically see if they picked it up and started looking around at it? Maybe you don't care if that's, I mean that's fine if you do not care. But anyway, little tidbit, trick, whatever you want to call it. And now we'll get to the actual colors I'm using. It's really pretty simple. I got 3 mixes. Not the brown liner. It's not what I thought I had. Black Indigo, there we go. And Creamy Ivory. Here on the claws. Oh, I can just show you my whole palette. So here's these 3 are for the claws. And then these 3 are going to be for rope. And then I've got the leather colors mixed up. If we have time for that, to go back and get that leather pad that I missed. Otherwise, it can be next week. We'll touch up if I don't get to that, along with the base. I only have like 3 colors for the nails because you really just need to really drive in the shine effect. Because quite often nails or claws are kind of shiny. You see that even my nails. You can see like there's quite a bit of shine coming off in one spot. So that's what we're trying to do with the claws. So you do not need very many different colors to get that effect, or very many different layers for that matter. I'm just kind of basically using the edge of my brush up against the top of these claws. These are inch shadows, but there would be a little bit of light hitting them, so we'll get just a little bit of this on there. Now for the extra shine, let's see, it would be there, I think. There. And you can always do like a glaze of the, in fact I probably will do like a glaze of the Black Indigo, just so it's not too blacky. Just mix that up real quick right now. Drop of brush full of the Black Indigo, and then a brush full of water. Make a light glaze. It'll be a very light glaze, but we want there to be a shininess look, so we don't want this covered up too much, or tinted rather too much. Okay, claws done, so now we'll move on to the rope. I'm using Shield Brown here. It's a little more mixing back up again already. And we'll need to be careful as we base coat this, since we have a whole bunch of stuff around it that is already painted. That is kind of the thing. You get to the end and that is something you're going to run into. You're going to be painting something with other stuff around it. So if you are like me and you have a tendency to sometimes rush things or get a little messy, probably want a small brush. That way you're not going to have, one, you're not going to have too much paint anyway to clean up, and two, whatever blob of paint you do get somewhere else, it won't be very much because you can't hold very much paint in a small brush. You can try, but there's only so much a little brush can hold. It's your little fun fact for the day. Okay, some of that is still drying, and I definitely want to get probably another coat, base coat down. So while that's going, I just had the thought, because I keep coming back to the coloring of this, and I think it really needs to be really dark with all of the light stuff that is around it. And I have this Black Indigo glaze sitting here, and that could be useful in helping to darken it down. So we're going to find out here. It's very light glaze, so I might need to like make a whole new, or rather just add in some more Black Indigo to make it kind of a thicker glaze, so it'll be a stronger, basically so it's stronger tint. We'll see how it looks with just the way the glaze is, if it's enough just with this. was just like bring that. That. Definitely like it better already. Still trying to determine whether I need or will want to make an even stronger or rather heavier glaze. This is kind of one of those things where if I had done it the way I normally do it, I think I probably would have ended up doing this like in a sort of black, to be honest, because it would have been a really great contrast to do a sort of black. Could do like a purplish black, maybe bluish black, one of the two. Right, we'll back to the rope now. This is just the shadow color of the rope. It is going to get a lot lighter. If you remember that I had the very light cream color. And more specifically, it's creamy ivory. Again, actually, so yeah, on the got creamy ivory on the fur, on the nails. Claws. I mean, we've even got some of it in the leather, I believe, or at least I put some in it this time around for the highlight. So if it looks like it's got a brighter highlight, I'll probably just add some highlights on the other leathers just so that it all looks cohesive. I think I might have even used it in creamy ivory in the tongue color too. It's in a lot of places on this mini. Right, now we're gonna go on to the next color. It's like about 50-50 mix of the shield brown and creamy ivory. And here we're gonna start kind of picking out the actual bumps, texture of the rope. See, just kind of try and pick out what parts of that here are showing. We'll do this even into the shadows, and we'll come up with the creamy ivory to show especially where the highlights are. Down here we can definitely do more of the actual horizontal movement. It's more knots. Again, it really helps to have a good brush that will hold a good tip. Alright, now for the creamy ivory. And there is the well, I'll just base coat since I have it on my palette right now. I might even do it off stream just because, off camera rather, because you've already seen me do the leather on this quite a bit. Pretty sure there's at least 2 videos of me doing leather on this guy. So, got him primed, base coated rather. Maybe what we'll do here in the last minute or so is just do a heavier glaze of the Black Indigo. At least slightly heavier. I'm still going to stick with this smaller brush since there are some pretty small spaces to get into here. That does mean it's going to take it kind of more towards the purplish blue. But since we do have Black Indigo on the mini, it actually is working fine, I think. Now I can really see the things popping here. So if you're ever like just feeling frustrated and like a color's just not working, and you've tried messing around with saturation levels and stuff, maybe stop and think about, you know, what values are, that's what it's called. What are the values that are around? Do you have some really bright stuff next to it and a thing that you're trying to also make somewhat light? Or does the whole mini in general just have a lot of light colors on it? In which case you really need something that's dark to really help with contrast. Contrast is really important with miniatures. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks really good. It's looking so much better. There's some areas here where I didn't get it on quite as heavy as everywhere else. There, and as you can see, yeah, it does kind of shift it quite a bit towards more of a purplish, bluish purple, but that's okay. Once again, because of where we've used it in underlying colors is, you know, it's the same color that is actually the very dark shadow in here, in all the fur, as well as in the claws. And we got on the nose too, obviously, and the teeth. So yeah, there's quite a bit of places that Black Indigo itself has also been used. So there we go. So next week we will for sure be moving on, getting the base done, and I will try to, I think I am gonna go ahead and plan on just painting this off camera, since you can easily just go back and watch all my other videos on that. So we'll be finishing up the mini this guy next week. So have a good rest of your week. Hope you are recovering well enough from daylight savings if you were in the US. And I will see you next week. Bye.